Sugar City Morning Show, good morning, a most pleasant morning to everyone waking up to this brand new beautiful morning, this brand new beautiful Thursday. We know lots of us are on the grind already for today. Lots of us are already at work. Some of us just waking up, some of us just coming home from work. We say a pleasant morning to you all. My name is Robert Checker Usher, and welcome to the Sugar City Morning Show. Today is Thursday, folks. What a beautiful morning. What a beautiful day. And today is the middle of October. Today is the 15th day of October 2020. And we want to wish you all the best. Everybody celebrating any type of special occasion today. You might be getting married today, or maybe their wedding anniversary, or today the day we engage, or maybe their birthday, or maybe today one time we win a lotto, or maybe it's your father, mother, wife birthday. Well, we say good morning to you all and celebrate proudly. We say good morning to Miss Cecilia all the way in Danriga. Good morning, Miss Cecilia. Have yourself a wonderful time, a wonderful day. Also to the Ordonez family there in Benquevejo and the Cocom family in San Jose Socots. We say good morning to Maya Trapp there in beautiful San Ignacio, Santa Elena. Good morning to the Rice and Beans King. Good morning to Venice. Good morning to Penny, Mr. Alfaro. Elaine, good morning, everybody there. Mr. Pandy, good morning. Pandy Show, good morning, everyone. They always tune in, we have Joycelyn all the way there in PG. We also have Miss Virginia and people lucky all the time, all the way there in Placencia and Mango Creek as well. We're reaching out, folks. We're reaching out to Danriga, Belmopan, all over, San Pedro, Kikaka, La Isla Cariñosa, and San Pedro is known as La Isla Bonita, right? Belize City, good morning to Myrna and crew. Trust and hope that you're having a great time. The folks that locking in different areas and when they not usually call and so, well, it's good when you send the messages and say, yeah, we are locking, we are seeing you guys. And also here in Orange Walk at Corozal, good morning. Have yourself a wonderful time. Good morning to all our international viewers. We welcome you aboard once again to this next edition of the Sugar City Morning Show today. We should be having Minister Aragon on the set this morning because today is Thursday and we'll have the East in the house this morning, folks. But we're up and we have to give thanks for seeing another day. So we say good morning to our sister in this morning. Good morning, Delvi. Hello, good morning, Del. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Checky. Good morning.
Yeah.
Buenos dias, buenos dias.
Yeah, we're up once again, girl.
Yes, sir. Another blessed and beautiful day that the good Lord has lent us. Oh, yes.
Yes, and it's time to give thanks.
Yes, and let us give thanks. This morning's verse is taken from Proverbs chapter 22, verses 1 and 2, and it reads, "A good name is to be chosen rather than great riches, loving favor rather than silver and gold. The rich and the poor have this in common. The Lord is the maker of them all." Almighty and Heavenly Father, Lord, I just give you thanks once again this morning. Thank you for your wonderful and your amazing grace. Thank you for blessing us, Lord, with the gift of life, that once more we are able to breathe, we are able to move, we are able to see. Lord, we are able to open up our mouths and just say thanks. Thank you for the air that we breathe. Thank you for the life that you've blessed us with. Thank you for the family and the friends that are around us. Thank you for the roof over our head. Thank you for the food that you make available for us to eat. Thank you for the water that you make available for us, Lord. And for those who doesn't have, Lord, I pray, oh God, that you may activate your saints, that we may be a light in this dying world, oh God, that we may be able to stretch out in one way or the other, Lord, that your children may have the things that they need, because you promise to provide all things for us. And I just give you thanks this morning, and I just pray that you keep blessing each and every one of us. Take your rightful place in and through us, Lord. As to you, I give all the honor and the glory. In the mighty name of Christ Jesus, I pray. Amen.
Amen. And that promise is a commitment, right?
It is a commitment, Mr. Checky.
Yeah, but it's up to us as well, because just like one time Christmas when they call my promise to you and get a leak car or get and for Christmas, but you have to behave good.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes. Yes,
Yeah.
he promised us the gift of salvation, but he also desire from us that we be obedient,
Yeah.
that we seek after the things of him.
We have to do our part as well.
We have to do our part. Yes.
All right, good. By seeing that, let's jump into our poem for this morning then, because it's Thursday.
It is Thursday and I am ready. And this one I have is entitled, "And in the Middle There Were Three."
Okay.
All right, and it goes like this. On the third day, God made the plants and everything on the earth that in the soil grows. Jesus warned the people that in 3 days he'll bring down the temple and raise it up again. But the people didn't understand of what he meant. They didn't know. The baker dreamt of 3 birds eating away from his basket, much to his demise, for Joseph told him that soon would be the end of his life. The butler also dreamt of 3 bunches of grapes, and he was made to understand that soon he'd be back at the king's right hand. Jesus died on the cross for the likes of you and me, and indeed he rose again. It was on day 3. 3 were the ones who were sent into the fiery furnace for not going with the flow. Indeed, they neither burned nor smoked, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. What is so special about the number 3? One might likely stop and think. Whatever the answer may be, one thing remains as a promise, that for every word that proceeds from the mouth of God, it will come to pass, but indeed it does take time. We might not be able to put a date on his doings, but standing on his word is always worth the while.
Right, standing on his word is always worth the while. That is so true. That is straight to the point. Do not beat around the bush at all, right?
No, Mr. Checker, the life is too short, and the way how things are going now, there's a lot of uncertainty. If we live in Christ, and if we live in him, when we die with him. And that's where the fulfillment of the promise comes. But again, if we do not have the faith, if we do not believe that, I want to be a part of that gift of salvation, then it's just words and wind and all the things that will pass away. So
yeah,
that time's short. We have to get straight to the point now.
Yeah, cause it shouldn't be just want. You want and want and want, but then you cannot get it. That's just like if you want to buy a bicycle, or you want to buy a wheelbarrow. You want to buy it, but what you have to do to buy it, you have to go and try to do some kind of work, some kind of employment to buy it. Then when you do that, then you get what you want. But then
Right.
look at your needs as well, right? Yeah.
Right. Whatever it is that we need or want, some people might want to take shortcut and go steal, but then there are consequences for that.
Big consequences.
I could get a wheelbarrow quick thing. I just go in and land this, broke in, and there are big consequences for that. You broke in and land this, they got cameras, they want to catch you. You might end up in jail and still not get the wheelbarrow.
But still, if the authorities down here not catch you, there's always an eye in the sky.
Yes, and that's the eye that we're supposed to fear. And then not that fear, I feel frightened, that fear as in, you know what? God, he will come again. Nobody know when, whether we're in a church or not. The Bible is the word of God. It is the truth. People interpret it differently. But whatever is written there, it will come to pass. And a lot of people are waking up to smell the coffee, but there are still a lot who are not. So just trying to reach out.
So when you think you get away, maybe your mom must never see when you grab the leap out of bone or a legion and cake when your mother bake and you just turn it back to take care of the fire hot. You might think you get away, right? But you don't get away at all.
You don't get away at all. When you might hear the ball out of the next room, they put a bun to hot in the hot your mouth, you don't get away.
That's
so
right.
When she miss, the good Lord will make she see it. So,
That's true, yeah. That's true. Yeah, well, Delph, thanks very much, man. It's always a wonderful time, a great time when we share these these ideas together every morning. So blessings to you always, all right?
All right, and blessings in return. Do have a great one.
Thank you. Folks, we will be checking
right.
in with the Belize Med service right now. But if you're waking up bright and early this morning or you wonder what you will eat today, well, you know, in the morning time, we usually pick up all these snacks. So today, we like to tell you that there is a new place here in the area where we're at on the San Lorenzo, in the San Lorenzo area. And it's called My Sister's Place. And they are serving nice food right now. They have salbutes for only 50 cents. They have hot dogs with bacon for only $2 and burritos, nice burritos, you know, for only $2. And they're offering that. And the promotion for this week, when you buy it in there, you get a free coffee. A lot of people don't like drink coffee, you know, but coffee is good in the morning time. And this is operated by the Campus Sisters. And for others, you can call 620-5947. That's 620-5947. So once again, My Sister's Place is open now from 7 in the morning until 2, offering salbutes, hot dogs with bacon, that is, burritos. Promotion this week, free coffee. You can call 620-5947, and that's for your orders. At this time, folks, we will be going into the Philip Goulson International Airport, where the friends from the Belize Met Service are stationed, and we'll be joining them right now for us to share with you all the weather report right here this morning. So let's check in with the Belize Met Service, and like we said that we'll be having the East in the house, and we have the East in the house already, and they will be coming up very shortly, represented by Minister Honorable Elodio Aragon will be on the show today, and we will be having a discussion right up until 9 o'clock. But at this time, folks, we will be checking in now with our friends at the Belize Weather Bureau to check in for today's weather forecast. And okay, so we got the weather forecast right now, and we invite you to stay tuned and listen to the forecast for today.
Good morning. Relatively moist and unstable conditions prevail over the area. The 24-hour forecast is for skies to be sunny with a few cloudy spells today and partly cloudy tonight. A few showers and isolated thunderstorms will occur mainly over inland areas this afternoon. Otherwise, showers and thunderstorms will be isolated. A flood watch remains in effect for the possibility of flooding over low-lying and flood-prone areas, especially near rivers and streams along the eastern slopes of the Maya Mountains. High temperatures today will peak near 88 degrees Fahrenheit along the coast, 92 inland, and 80 in the hills. Low temperatures tonight will range from 80 degrees Fahrenheit along the coast, 72 inland, and 67 in the hills. Winds over the open sea will blow from the east and northeast at 5 to 10 knots, and the sea state will be slight to light chop. High tide will occur at 8:43 this morning, followed by low tide at a minute after 3 this afternoon. The moon will set at a minute to 5 this evening and will rise again at 5:32 tomorrow morning. The sun will set at 5:30 this evening and will rise again at 5:46 tomorrow morning. The outlook for Friday and Friday night is for a few showers and isolated thunderstorms to occur mostly over central and southern areas during the day, and then a few more occurring over the southern districts in the night. In this week's Sargassum Update, satellite observations showed a few sargassum mats offshore the country. There is a medium chance that these mats could drift onshore during the week, producing minimal impacts. In the tropical weather outlook for the North Atlantic, Caribbean Sea and Gulf of Mexico, tropical cyclone formation is not expected during the next couple of days. And that ends this morning's weather report and forecast from the National Meteorological Service.
We thank you to forecaster on duty and everyone there at the Breeze Met Service. Whenever Morris passed just now here, I think that Morris, don't you? Somebody just sent me a text and say hello to Morris. Whenever Morris passed just now. But folks, let's have a little information here that I want to share with you all this morning before we go on our first break. And this information here goes out. It's a message here. It's a message that we want to share with you this morning. And the Ministry of Food and Agriculture, through the respond component is informing all eligible registered farmers that the disbursement of cash transfer relief funds is expected to roll out anytime soon. Eligible farmers for the cash relief are all female farmers and male farmers cultivating 20 acres or less who registered from June 2018 to May 2020 in the Belize Agriculture Information Management System. The disbursement process is as follows. Beneficiaries will be required to collect their Heritage Bank ATM debit card in person at the Agriculture Department in their districts. A valid identification card is required when collecting the ATM card. To redeem funds, beneficiaries are asked to use the PIN number sent to their cell phone number. All beneficiaries are required to adhere to the COVID-19 health and safety protocols. The Ministry of Agriculture continues to encourage unregistered farmers to register and be part of the Belize Agriculture Information Management System. So, farmers, congratulations, and go and get your cards today. Folks, we'll be taking a break. It's 21 minutes after 7 o'clock, 21 minutes after 7 o'clock, and when we come back, we have the East on the set right here for you. So we take a break, and we'll be back after these messages right here on Nortevisión, Channel 10.
When you think about compassion, care, and kindness, the area representative of Orange Walk East, Honorable Elodia Aragon Jr., immediately comes to mind. He has demonstrated through dedication and hard work that the people he represents are his priority. His work in Orange Walk East to deliver goods and services has been never-ending. Infrastructure, streets, water, land, social assistance, sports, and education are areas in which Mr. Aragon has focused and delivered to his people in the Orange Walk East. Honorable Aragon has lived a life of dedicated service to his country and people with an excellent track record. Orange Walk East deserves the best. So, for continued development, vote for Honorable Elodia Aragon Jr.
Belize saw unprecedented development and transformation under the UDP over the last 12 years. Belize's development has encountered challenges outside of her control this year, but the United Democratic Party stands competent, prepared, and electrified to lead our country through recovery and into prosperity. Join us on Thursday, October 15 at 7:30 p.m. as we launch our 2020-25 manifesto, Because Your Future Matters. Catch us on Love TV, Wave Radio and Wave TV, Channel 7, Nortevisión, Maximum Cable, and on the UDP Belize Facebook page.
Unity, Post Patrick and the UDP.
Development comes through vision, dedication, and hard work. These qualities possessed by Honorable Elodia Aragon are in full display as he embarked in a project to open new streets in Carmelita Village. This will allow access to new landowners to their own little piece of the jewel. Honorable Elodia Aragon Jr. and the government of Belize, leadership that works.
We have made unprecedented investments in developing the backbone infrastructure of our nation, which has positively impacted every community in this country, with new roads, sporting complexes, water and waste management systems, hospitals, schools, electricity, and internet connectivity. These investments have contributed greatly to the movement of people, goods, and services, and has bolstered our economic growth while setting the stage for a new era of Belizean prosperity in the upcoming decade.
Since 2014, Honorable Elodia Aragon has been quietly and consistently assisting deserving residents of Orange Walk East through a pantry program that he put together using personal resources and also with the support of generous business persons. It started with the distribution of 100 packages per month and has now doubled to 200 packages per month. The packages comprise of rice, beans, flour, and sugar, which are staples in any household and a great help to the recipients. During the state of emergency in the month of April, Honorable Aragon also prepared and delivered 3,000 food hampers to residents of Orange Walk East. In the first instance, 1,500 parcels were delivered, followed by 1,500 more 2 weeks later. This was done because Mr. Aragon was aware of the hardships some of their residents were going through due to the COVID curfew. This is a man who cares. Honorable Elodio Aragon Jr., with you always.
Let's take a look at the PUP DNA. Julius Espat, representative for Cayo South, was sold the Chief Justice residence by a PUP government for a mere pittance and turned around and flipped it for over $1 million. Cousin Luke Espat got a sweetheart pass from the then PUP government when they sold him the country's most valuable asset in the port of Belize, and he allowed Ashcroft to take it over. Now cousin Mike Espat, representative for Toledo East, brought the VOA compound in PG with a DFC loan, which was later written off. He sold it for millions. Corruption is in the PUP DNA. This is the same old PUP.
Honorable Elodio Aragon remains steadfast in his commitment of delivering on his pledge to the people of Orange Walk East. As a result, Palmar Village is receiving much needed attention. The main street that passes through the village, which has been eroded due to rains and use over time, has been upgraded by your area representative and the government of Belize. Street works will be ongoing in the area. Honorable Elodio Aragon and the government of Belize. Leadership that works.
Since 2015, Santa Marta villagers have seen development like never before. The road, which was always flooded and sometimes impassable, is now an all-weather road all year round. The streets within the village have been consistently maintained, and new streets have been opened. The Newland 12-mile road and bridge were rehabilitated. Electricity expansion was done in several new areas, and street lights were placed throughout the village. Water expansion was also done. As a result, all villagers now enjoy potable water in their house. The old water well had become unserviceable, so a new well has been dug, providing a more reliable source of water to Santa Marta villagers. Prior to 2015, there was no community center, so one was built. A football field was also built and equipped with LED stadium lights. Lots were made available to villagers and their land papers delivered to them. Educational assistance has been given to hundreds of students from the village for high school and sixth form. Every year, mothers are given a treat, and during Christmas, everyone enjoys the generosity of Honorable Elodio Aragon Jr. In times of disaster, Mr. Aragon has always been there for the people of Santa Marta. In good times and in bad times, Elodio Aragon Jr. with you always.
On election day, let's make the right choice. Re-elect Elodio Aragon Jr. With you always. Leadership that works. Representing Orange Walk East. Because our future matters. Not even a question who may voting be. You already know we voting for the UDP. Cause they are the best one in the driver's seat. So go and put your X right there, so we're the son of the East. Yeah, we talking about who? Aragon, Aragon, Aragon. We talking about who? Aragon, Aragon. The number one, we talking about who? Aragon, Aragon. One and only son out here of the East. Yeah, we voting for Aragon equality. Voting Aragon, he's the number one, yeah. Voting Aragon, he get the job done, yeah. And we're so blessed, hello the Aragon bring progress. Hard working, not in a novice. Hello the Aragon show to yes. Leadership that works. Tell the Aragon don't come to play. Put the people first. Tell the Aragon after we always. Yeah, you could have rich or you poor. Tell the Aragon still a knock on your door. 1 vote, 2 vote, 3 vote, 4. Time to update, give him plenty more. The hard work, evident, humble, genuine and intelligent. When the people wake him to strength. Hello, they're not afraid to go to show the help. Hello, don't push the youth and the sports, push the jobs and the roads. People first and the party after. Cause our future matter. Aragon, 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 we talk about Aragon.
Good morning. Welcome once again. Welcome back to the Sugar City Morning Show. It's 29 minutes now, 29 minutes away from 8 o'clock. Folks, we have the East in the house. Our apologies that we didn't have the representation of the East last week, but we have Minister Aragon. Minister Aragon, we want to say good morning to you and as well condolences to your family, to the loss of that loved one in your family.
Thanks, Checky. Yeah, and of course I want to say a pleasant good morning to all our radio listeners and our TV viewers who are tuning in today, wherever you are. I want to say a pleasant good morning, and it's always great to be back in studio, Checky. You know, I know you were out last week likewise, no?
Right.
You know, but I'm glad to know that you're okay, man.
Yes, man.
Yeah, but you know, it's a pleasure to be here in studios, and I think we have a lot to discuss, you know.
Yes. We know that the opposition have a lot to say right now, and people are hearing, but it seems like not much people are listening to the propaganda that is going around, because it's things that we have been hearing over and over, and we know the situation with the country right now and the world. So I personally don't believe that right now is a time to promise and to say you will do this and you will do that, because you are a minister of cabinet and you know what's the state of the country right now.
Definitely.
And these people supposed to know as well, no?
Yeah, but they promise all kind of thing. But they are sheeps. I don't know how to put it. They're like wolf in sheep clothing. Mm-hmm. You know, they come with that whole reform idea, try to pull wool over people's eye. You know, we have seen the tactics throughout the PUP, especially this year, which is an election year. They come with all kind of stuff. And I think any day the people can be for sure that they cannot trust on the PUP. That is one sure thing that they have shown to the public, is that we cannot trust them. We have no confidence in the PUP. And I say that as a community, I say that as a nation, you know, especially under the leadership of Janet Briceño and the people who are running, vying for political office in the PUP camp. And I can say that with a certainty. I can say that with a clear understanding of who they are. You understand me, Checky? Mm-hmm. If we never know who these people were, then I would have made it a clone crop. The reality is that we know exactly who these people are. They were in office. They were in political office under the leadership of Janet Briceño when he was the deputy prime minister of this country, man. The amount of lands he signed off for his family and friends and his cronies was tremendous. You look at when the secret BTL accommodation agreement where you have SMART today, where his family controls a grand percentage of that. I mean, it is clear to be seen, you know, the history lies with them. They're not something where we make up. It is not something that just we pull out of the thin air. It is something that is credible, something that is there in terms of the history of the PUP while they were in office. And may I say, Checky, I mean, during the course of their term, I could really want to tell you that was the worst corrupt era of this country, you know, in terms of governance. And that was under the PUP, under the same Janet Briceño, the same Fonseca, the same Espats, the same Marines. You know, they were part and parcel of the most corrupt era in the history of this country. So when they come now and say, well, you know what, we are promised to do this and that, man, that alone regurgitation that they have been doing for the last three general elections, you know, for the last two general elections, that is same material and regurgitate. All in that change one or two the word, change the outlook in terms of the production of their manifesto and then put that thing out there. I think at the end of the day, yes, you have to make promises. I mean, definitely. But I think at the end of the day, the people want to see a realistic manifesto in terms of how we will move forward. No come and sell one kind of dream where not possible. Right? The mere fact in terms of the promises that they are making, I mean, that cannot happen at this point in time right away. Definitely not. And I don't see how it happen any at all in many instances because of the economic situation that we have because of this COVID. And so when you look at the manifesto, it's filled with I would want to say, just raw PUP propaganda, and feeling that they could just deceive the people. This is it, deceive the people. But I don't think the Belizean people are inept. I think the Belizean people really understand what is happening right now. And I think they have a good footing on the ground. It's unlike our UDP when you look, and I think we have the launching of the UDP manifesto tonight.
That happens tonight.
And I will invite everybody to tune in at 7:30 p.m. for the UDP manifesto. And I think that if there's any government that has come close to really doing the great kind of work for the people of this country, it is the United Democratic Party. Whether you talk about education, whether you talk about land, you name it, it is the UDP government who has been pushing these things for the Belizean people. And like I've always said, the UDP not perfect, man, but by far, you can't compare the UDP to the PUP,
Last week, the party had that virtual rally where they introduced all their candidates across the country, and the new party leader was recognized, swearing, and we have a new party leader right now. But I must say that presentation last week was a very, very magnificent one.
No, it was wonderful, Checky.
We see all the different candidates across the country. We see the works that they are doing, and the program was well put together, Minister.
I think so. And I think the amount of people who tune in, I mean, speaks volumes of the UDP and the support they have,
Yeah, I think at one point when I was seeing it on the Facebook, it was almost over 3,000 views at the same time, apart from the radios and the television.
And the television, I tell you,
if persons didn't have interest, they wouldn't remain there and keep on watching.
Keep on watching, exactly. And Checky, I will tell you, I mean, I think it was well put together, like you said.
It's a nice program.
But more importantly, I do think that at the end of the day, the message that was conveyed to the people was one of confidence, one of continued progress for this country. And people must understand that, I mean, politics is a tough game, and it's not perfect. I mean, there's a lot of people who maybe never get what they want, or they couldn't manage something with them in the work plan, but it is not that you try to get it done. It's just that certain things have not allowed it to happen. But at the end of the day, in terms of governance on a whole, nobody can say that the United Democratic Party at this point in time is the better party, is the better option for this country. PUP is without a doubt zero. They're not at zero right now. They are not an option for this country right now, Checky. And I've always said it, and I will say it again. The PUP of today is not the PUP of the past in terms of when George Price run. They're a totally different game right now. I mean, what we have here is literally a pack of wolves, who are trying to clothe themselves in sheep clothing and trying to deceive the Belizean people. Man, I don't think anyone away would ever want to see a PUP back in office under the leadership of Johnny Briceño. Trust me.
How do we balance it off, Minister, when it comes to having a good government, and when election come, then money comes in play? How do you balance that off with good work and hands out?
Well, I've always believed that like for me, I'll tell you the truth, Checky. This whole money business in terms of voting and that trying to pay people for vote, to me, that one thing where really, really, to me, it is sad,
Isn't it an illegal act as well?
Of course, it's an illegal act. Well, you have to prove all of that and things. So, for me, it is sad because I think that people should be able to make their own decisions, and free from any kind of influence in terms that they do it because they truly believe in what is right for this country and what is the best option for the people of this country. But that it is what it is. How I say, at the end of the day, I do believe, and I will say this here, that the Belizean people, man, at the end of the day, this is where you have your your say. This is where you will make your mark. You know, that not every day you get to vote. It is once in every 5 years in terms of the governance, the national governance of this country. And I think that it is a very important day for all Belizeans. And I think Belizeans have to come out and make the right decision. And not just for come out and vote and whoever give this, you are voting for that. I think you have to vote for who you believe. Vote for wanting to continue with progress. You have to vote for what you know will be the right decision for your country. Because at the end of the day, we have with families, we have with friends, we have with communities, Sheki. But at the end of the day, how well we prosper, how well we move as a nation is dependent on the leadership we have. And we have to be real about that. I mean, in the history, and I don't consider myself too old, but as far as I know in politics, now that I'm fully engaged in politics, and long before I was engaged in politics, I will tell you, in AD, it is the United Democratic Party, historically, who has been the champion of the people. You know, they have always been there recovering our economy,
building the nation,
the infrastructural development, doing the kind of things that stands out, that yells at the highest voice, we are for the people. And I think that is the UDP. It has always been that case. Checky, you remember when our economy was on its knees because of the Super Bowl? It is UDP who has brought that back up.
And that's still upon us.
Of course, it's still upon us. But it is a party, the UDP party and governance, that has made a difference in this country. And I have always said, why will we go back? Why will we step back now in terms of where we are going? Right now, we're in a COVID situation, a COVID pandemic that has really wreaked havoc in terms of our economy, in terms of our personal lives, community kind of societal life that we live, you know. Everything has changed. Not the same. We have to wear masks. We have to have social distancing. You can't have no function. All kind of these things that we are living in. I mean, who is best there to manage us out of this COVID situation whenever this situation, it's being managed now. But we need to have good stewardship as we progress forward, you know, because the uncertainty is there. You know, we need to know that we have good leadership at the helm.
It's not an overnight thing.
Yeah, it's not an overnight thing, but at the end of the day, we must have sound leadership. And where will that sound leadership come at this point in time? Well, I think the Belizean people have seen it, how the COVID pandemic is being handled thus far under the UDP government. And I think they are doing a splendid job. All those entities that are there working alongside the government to ensure we manage this COVID, I think they are doing a wonderful job. I'm not saying they're perfect, man, but they are doing a wonderful job. And that is under the UDP. And we need to continue with that because, listen to me, if we may left it up to Johnny Briseño, airports may open from day one, and all kind of things they may have done. Because obviously Johnny now has that, how would I put it to you, that kind of leadership quality to make right decisions.
Yeah. And that time when he was asking for the airports to open, all the protocols wasn't in place at that time.
Nothing. And then you know, again, you know, then I come back to him because we have to. He walks out on the National Oversight Committee, Checky. And I always will say it, when you walk out on the National Oversight Committee, you walked out on the people of this country when the people needed you the most.
It looked like that disturbed you a lot, man.
No, it does, because he is vying for being the next Prime Minister of this country, Checky. When a man desert you, abandon you, Checky, in the time you needed him the most, man, where you think, boy? Come on. And that is what he did to this country when he walked away from the co-chair of the National Oversight Committee. But you see him figure that he could left and then bash up the government. His own, what would I say, his own wanting, what he wanted, the outcome of what he did was for his own political and personal gain. Now, this is the difference in terms of leadership that we must understand. You know, everything that you have looked at Johnny Briseño and the PUP is for their own personal political gain. It's not about the people of this country, Checky. They're not about the people. It's about them. And that is the difference between the United Democratic Party. You know, when you look at the leadership under the UDP, man, it is all about the people. It is about making the right decisions that will move this nation forward, you know, and making the tough and hard decisions, but what is right for this country. The PUP give a damn about the people of this country, man. It's time and time in our political history where decisions so important to be made that you find out that the PUP walks out on the Belizean people, that you say the PUP makes the wrong decision for the people of this country, man. We need some leadership right now, Checky. Going out of this COVID or dealing or managing this COVID where we are right now and the future, I mean, we need one strong government. And I think the only strong government that is out there right now is your UDP government. And I say yours, Checky, because it's you and mine. It's all of us. Because at the end of the day, the leadership we get is the leadership we vote for. And people must understand this, and that's why when you talk about the money business and that, Checky, the reality is I would want to know that when people go out there, they make the right choice. Forget the nice, forget this, forget what they give you, forget that. Do the right decision, man, because that decision is important for this country. I have confidence in the people of this country.
And that one day when you go and vote, that's a decision for 5 years, right?
5 years, you understand me? So we have to think about these decisions. Furthermore, Checky, and you see, it's all about leadership for me. It's all about how we do what is in the best interest of our community across this country. Right now, I'm in Orange Walk East, and I have a lot of my UDP supporters say, Aragon, when you put up your flags, when you put up the banners, so much PUP, big billboards, and when you do, they put up, I tell them, my brother, I tell them, I'll be frank with you. I got the kind of leadership that will do my own thing when I feel it is for the right cause for this country. I don't mind stand alone and walk alone in this world if it is for the right decision, Checky. Right now, we are going through a COVID situation, man. I could tell you because I've been in some of the villages right now, people have it hard, Checky. Somebody who have their government job, somebody who have their own business and that, they could handle themselves, they could survive. But when you look at people out there who lose their job, the catch and kill man where they're out there and he is the only breadwinner, or the young lady where have 3 children living by herself and she lose her job, and Checky, it's hard on people out there right now, Now feel like this economy is where it is right now. The COVID has impacted upon this economy. We know it, at the government level and at the local level, we understand these things. And so we have to be responsible leaders. For me, if I go and spend each one of them billboards where you see PUP put up there, where my opponent has put on the PUP, these billboards cost nothing less than $5,000, these big billboards. You talk about all the galvanized steel, you talk about the power lines where they use, you talk about the cement work, the labor, you talk about the cost for the banner itself and all of these things. They didn't spend roughly close to $5,000 per one of them. Damn. You add up all of them things when they're in this tongue right now. You look at all them flags and then they put up on posts, and posts no vote. They might look good, but the posts no vote. At this point in time, for me, what is more important is the people of our community. And if I spend all of that, how will I justify myself when people ask me for only help or come and they need only provision and I can't provide, man, but I could put up them big sign? How do I sleep with myself at night? You understand me? And these are the kind of things that for me, the people come first. And that is why I'm not putting up any sign nowhere, Checky. You go anywhere in Orange Walk East, you really, whatever sign I had, that was there already. I'm not put up no big sign because I know I spend the money. If I go in and spend all the money on those things, I prefer take and give away this money to the people. Because there are people out there who have it hard, Checky. I hear people will call me and say, I'm going to just get a lead job and even get money for even start travel. And even, you know how the stories you hear, and then a genuine story, Checky, because the guys will just want, but the genuine people, and there are genuine people out there who are in need right now, Checky. And those are the people we have to look after because we are the leaders of this community right now. And I can't shy away from that, but definitely I don't have the kind of money neither like that for just chow. I am there to help the people. And if I go in and waste money, because that's the way I'm doing right now, waste money on these big billboards and all of that, for me, Checky, I won't do that. Right now, I will focus on the people and see how I could reach out to them with provisions, reach out to them. And our big community we have in the East, we have the large part of town, and we have 5 villages. So there's a lot of demands out there right now, Checky. But I'm working on these demands because I truly believe that we have to be responsible leaders, and I will stand with what I believe and reach out to the people of my division first. Put them first over politics. And although I have campaigners and people who come say, Aragon, but how you know put up flags and this and that. I will be putting up flags, check, but I know they put no flags from post. If anybody want a flag at their home, I will put a flag at their home. But I am not going to spend money in terms of putting flags on posts, putting big billboards and all of these things. That money can be best spent assisting the people of our division.
Well,
and that is where I stand in terms of that. So just in case people ask why Aragon not put up no flag and that, it is not because I wouldn't want to. But I don't think it is appropriate at this point in time where we are going through, Checky. This COVID situation, when you imagine somebody get quarantined for 2 weeks or 3 weeks, and he's the only breadwinner. What you think then people got savings at the bank and that is not the situation. The reality is that they have young picnic or they have one elderly to tend to, check it. These things impact our community. I tell you because I hear it firsthand, I see it out there. I mean, come on. We have to take care of people, and that is what I'm here for as best as I can. And you know, like I've always tell people, whatever is at the end of the day, I stand for what I believe in, my convictions. I stand for what is right, and that is who I am. You know.
All right, Minister, so we'll be taking a break. It's exactly 9 minutes away from 8 o'clock. Folks, we're live right here on the East Radio this morning, 104.9, also on Nortevision Channel 10. We'll be taking a break. Minister Aragon and Robert Cheque Usher will be back after these messages. One coffee break right here on Nortevision Channel 10.
Durante el gobierno del UDP, más de 10,000 personas pudieron ser dueños de sus propias casas por medio del programa de cancelación de hipotecas. Bajo el PUP, el DFC estaba en bancarrota. Pero hoy el DFC es una institución robusta y exitosa. El Partido Unido Democrático, UDP, es orgulloso de haber tomado las medidas y obtenido los resultados que benefician a todos los beliceños. Vote UDP, porque su futuro es lo más importante.
Meet Johnny. Johnny paid $4,000 to dig a drain around his house. Johnny then sold his house and all its contents for $3,000. Johnny is a fool. Don't be Johnny. The PUP spent $44 million of public funds to dredge out the Port of Belize. The PUP then sold the Port of Belize and all its assets for $40 million to Lucas Pat. Luke defaulted on his loans to Belize Bank. Now Michael Ashcroft owns the port. The PUP. Do you trust them with your future? Vote UDP because your future matters.
When you think about compassion, care and kindness, the area representative of Orange Rock East, Honorable Elodia Aragon Jr., immediately comes to mind. He has demonstrated through dedication and hard work that the people he represents are his priority. His work in Orange Rock East to deliver goods and services has been never-ending. Infrastructure, streets, water, land, social assistance, sports, and education are areas in which Mr. Aragon has focused and delivered to his people in Orange Rock East. Honorable Aragon has lived a life of dedicated service to his country and people with an excellent track record. Orange Rock East deserves the best. So, for continued development, vote for Honorable Elodia Aragon Jr.
Belize saw unprecedented development and transformation under the UDP over the last 12 years. Belize's development has encountered challenges outside of her control this year, but the United Democratic Party stands competent, prepared, and electrified to lead our country through recovery and into prosperity. Join us on Thursday, October 15 at 7:30 p.m. as we launch our 2020-25 manifesto, Because Your Future Matters. Catch us on Love TV, Wave Radio Wave TV, Channel 7, Nortevision, Maximum Cable, and on the UDP Belize Facebook page.
Development comes through vision, dedication, and hard work. These qualities, possessed by Honorable Elodie Aragon, are in full display as he embarked in a project to open new streets in Carmelita Village. This will allow access to new landowners to their own little piece of the jewel. Honorable Elodie Aragon Jr. and the government of Belize, leadership that works.
We have made unprecedented investments in developing the backbone infrastructure of our nation, which has positively impacted every community in this country with new roads, sporting complexes, water and waste management systems, hospitals, schools, electricity, and internet connectivity. These investments have contributed greatly to the movement of people, goods, and services, and has bolstered our economic growth while setting the stage for a new era of Belizean prosperity in the upcoming decade.
Since 2014, Honorable Elodie Aragon has been quietly and consistently assisting deserving residents of Orange Walk East through a pantry program that he put together using personal resources and also with the support of generous business persons. It started with the distribution of 100 packages per month and has now doubled to 200 packages per month. The packages comprise of rice, beans, flour, and sugar, which are staples in any household and a great help to the recipients. During the state of emergency in the month of April, Honorable Aragon also prepared and delivered 3,000 food hampers to residents of Orange Walk East. In the first instance, 1,500 parcels were delivered, followed by 1,500 more 2 weeks later. This was done because Mr. Aragon was aware of the hardships some of their residents were going through due to the COVID curfew. This is a man who cares. Honorable Elodie Aragon Jr. with you always.
Let's take a look at the PUP DNA. Julius Espat, representative for Cayo South, was sold the Chief Justice residence by a PUP government for a mere pittance and turned around and flipped it for over $1 million. Cousin Luke Espat got a sweetheart pass from the then PUP government when they sold him the country's most valuable asset in the Port of Belize, and he allowed Ashcroft to take it over. Now cousin Mike Espat, representative for Toledo East, brought the VOA compound in PG with a DFC loan, which was later written off. He sold it for millions. Corruption is in the PUP DNA. This is the same old PUP.
Honorable Elodie Aragon remains steadfast in his commitment of delivering on his pledge to the people of Orange Walk East. As a result, Palmar Village is receiving much needed attention. The main street that passes through the village, which has been eroded due to rains and use over time, has been upgraded by your era representative and the government of Belize. Street works will be ongoing in the area. Honorable Elodie Aragon and the government of Belize. Leadership that works.
On election day, let's make the right choice. Re-elect Elodie Aragon Jr. With you always, leadership that works. Representing Orange Walk East, because our future matters. Not even a question, who may voting be? You already know we voted for the UDP, cause they are the best one in the driver's seat. So go put your excitement over the son of the East. Yeah, we talking about who? Aragon,
You can do it after the next break. We'll come back to it now.
Aragon, the number one, we talking about who?
Welcome back to the Sugar City Morning Show. Minister, today is a different day for all the time, because When we go up and break just now, I say, I take a little break, a little coffee. When I go out there, not to done, prepare a coffee for me.
What? We're clear.
And fix me up. Yeah. But Minister, on a national note, what's your advice to the nation about the breakage from the prison of escapees?
Yeah, well, first of all, I want to say, that one very, how would I put it, unfortunate incident in terms of having, I think it was 28 prisoners who escaped from the central prison. Anytime you have one breakage like that in terms of people escaping, I mean, it puts on alert the entire community across this country because, our country is small.
Yeah.
And you can move from one area to the other one quite quickly.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of the day, these are people who have broken out of prison. And so it puts our community at risk too. I know that the personnel from the Ministry of National Security in terms of the BDF, the police, the Coast Guard, they're out there working, and I think they have recaptured some people. But
right.
It's always, how would I put it, it puts people on high alert. And basically, I want to tell people out there just to be careful. Because no matter where you are, I know they captured some on the coastal road and things like that. So people have to be wary of when they're traveling there, just to be on the lookout, and whatever they see out of order, for them to report it, I am confident that the national security apparatus, in terms of the various agencies, are on the ground. They are working on this, and I'm confident that they will recapture most, if not all, of these people. It is just a tough situation.
Out, right?
Yes, of course, from my experience in terms of when we have had escapees, I think most of the time we capture all of these people, but it just goes to show that and not even the central prison, is immune from having these kinds of incidents. Things happen. I don't know what is the intricacies in terms of the investigation. I'm not privy to that. But I'm sure the police department is on it, doing their investigation, and I'm sure that they will look into it as to how the prisoners were able to escape from the prison. And these are the kind of things that I think will come to light as time progresses. But the important thing right now is to want to recapture these people who have escaped from central prison, and the safety of the people in these communities wherever we are, because usually when people escape, they go straight to the areas that they were from, and I think it's for all Belizeans that escaped now,
right.
If I'm not mistaken.
Are these persons considered dangerous?
Well, I would think anybody who escaped from prison is to be considered dangerous, because you don't know in what state of mind they are, Definitely they are running away from being captured, so, you can never tell, but definitely I think that it's always good to be cautious while we are moving around.
Yeah, I have a press release here. I'll try my best to see if I can go into it because it concerns you, and we're here this morning, no?
Okay.
This press release says this weekend, this is a press release from the office of the Honorable Elodie Aragon. This weekend, my attention was drawn to some pictures of me being circulated on social media, along with some wild and ridiculous accusation of impropriety on my part. The post accompanying the picture suggests that I went to the airport to have person arriving not to be subjected to search and checked by authorities. That's the first part of the release, Minister.
Yeah. Right, well, maybe you could finish it up and we could discuss it a little again.
To add to this misappropriation is a supposed press release issued by the People's United Party, making it sound wrongs on social media. This release made some serious and libelous accusation and was subsequently posted on news on quote Channel 5 Facebook. I would like to condemn this. They are nothing but gross lies and acts of sheer desperation and defamation of character on the part of the People's United Party. It is downright low and on their part in trying to tarnish my character and integrity. This reeks of desperation and shows how low the People's United Party will stoop in this election as their support going down every day. I also want to put Channel 5 on notice that I am not considering all my legal options and have consulted with my attorney, and legal actions will be taken against them. My being at the airport was to meet a person whom I have known for some time through mutual friends. This person brought some face masks, which he had promised me some time ago. He was duly declared through customs, immigration, Baja, and went through all the COVID safety protocols. And at no time did I intervene to have him bypass any of these measures. He was then taken to the Radisson. We said only goodbyes, and I returned to my Orange Walk town. I was in Orange Walk town dealing with a death in the family, and not in Placencia as suggested by this report. Anyone who knows me that I stand for what is right and condemn anything that is illegal or improper. End of release. Why are some of all of these allegations speculations?
Well, it's just stems
Is it just
from.
because you're a minister?
Well, I think so. I think definitely so. I think.
So because you're a minister, you cannot go and get any of your friends.
No, you can't go meet nobody. I think it's.
Somebody can bring in something for you that will benefit your community, like face masks.
Well, Cheki, I think we're in politics right now in terms of an election, and being that we're very close to a general election, the PUP will hold on nothing in terms of whatever they can do to one, tarnish your reputation and defame your character. And why I say this is because we're in politics, and maybe when you look at what they do is because they're in sheer desperation right now.
Minister,
we're going we're 3 weeks and a half away from a general election.
That's where I was going. This is not the first time you have went to the airport to pick up some friends.
No.
So the next one is they never come out when they're going to pick up people in the time.
No.
But this one came out now.
Well, it came out because somebody took your picture and want to put this out there. The idea, Cheki, I know who I am. I know what I do. And definitely in terms of this, I can't just left it so, because most of the time when I put full, I don't bother deal with it, because then I don't got the time for waste, and two.
And they get to and they continue.
Yes. But this thing is very important because really they have stooped very low. It is a purported PUP press release. If it's real or not real, up to now the PUP Secretariat have not said that they're not real. So it is only alleged that they have put this out, but they have not made any statement in that regard. And so that is the situation, And I think it is because maybe when you look at the fact that 3.5 weeks away from an election, they know that whatever they can do to kind of beat down on a candidate, that is what they will do. And I guess the politics, we can't blame it otherwise, but I can't leave it like that either, because I think that we have to put something to them, because we can't just leave it like that, because people they tend to look at certain things and interpret certain things certain ways, and I can't just leave it so. And definitely if we do, they will continue to do this, not only to me but to many other persons out there. We have to ensure that whatever they do, especially one company like Channel 5, but we all know where Channel 5 lies. Channel 5 is a PUP organ of Ashcroft and the PUP. No two ways about that. And so we have to call these things out, because at the end of the day, we can't just leave it so. Check it.
Let's get this.
Hello,
good morning. SugarCity Morning Show.
Morning.
Morning.
Mr. Arrow, good morning, checkers.
Good morning, sir.
It is really a sad day in Belize when you see the operatives, I'll call them operatives, and these ignorant people using something as simple as a visit to the airport when you go and pick up either family or a friend or whatever it is. Take a picture and they come up with all kinds of stories and conjectures and innuendos suggesting that something nefarious and something wicked and evil is taking place. It is a sad day, because it seems that if you're a politician, you cannot go to these public places. You cannot go pick up your relatives at the airport, because it's a crime. And they will suggest that you're bringing down all the airplanes and then you're passing people through the airport. You just whisk them through and bypassing all the safety measures that are in place. One, I am sure that they will have more than one or two custom officers that support the People's United Party. I am sure that they'll have more than one or two immigration officers that support the People's United Party. I am sure that we'll have a lot of workers at the airport that should support the People's United Party. More than one of them will make noise if it's a fact that Mr. Argo went there to bypass any of these measures. So it's a stupid post that they made on social media suggesting that these things happen, that, oh, look at this minister, they do all kind of wicked things and evil things. That would never happen because it would not be allowed. And knowing Mr. Argo, he's not the kind of person that will go there to create any kind of or allow people not to do their jobs. So all these things, the people should put themselves in a position where they can analyze that people out there are not stupid. To put up these comments, all you're doing is irritating people. You're not being cute. People watch these things and say, man, that this you're into. What can we expect from you if you ever come in a position of government? You know? So my thing would be to Mr. Argon, ignore these things. Of course, the supposed press release that was put out there, they have irresponsible media hosts like Channel 5 will put it out as news. I believe, sir, that you should exercise and check out your legal options and sue them and make an example out of them, because obviously that's a very irresponsible action that they took. Spreading lies, as it were, so just to gain political mileage, you know, and it's sad, but like I said, PUP believes that they're gaining points by doing these things. They are pissing people off. People are just looking at these things, are just saying, is this the kind of leadership that we're going to support? So they are basically driving the last daily and a half, and apart from the fact that they are the same old crooks that were there in 1998 and almost brought this country to the mud, to the ground. We almost lost our 2-to-1 thing. We almost fell into a IMF standby arrangement. All kind of things happened. Thank God for the United Democratic Party that took us out of that quandary that we were in. Gentlemen, have a good morning.
Yeah, thank you, Carla. And you know
that
yeah.
a mom is a very important person. You lost your mom already.
Yeah.
You have your wife that is a mom. You had your mother-in-law that was sick for approximately a month. And your mother-in-law just passed away, and you were about to come back to deal with that. How has that affected you with these releases when you're going through all that?
This release, you know, the thing, we have to condemn it, and I had to do something with it because, you know, if you read that release, the purported release from the PUP, then talk about trying to put this in like in terms of the landing on narco planes and all of these, which is really outlandish, Checky. If you read, well, you don't need to read it because it's a garbage from the PUP. But, you know, it just makes that connotation in terms of trying to link. That
release is in pertain,
you know, yes, in pertain to that same thing, you know. And when you read all of these things and then put that out there, like if you might even be involved in narco landings and that, man, you know, that is so ridiculous, you know. If there's anybody who stands against drugs in this country, than me. Because I truly don't believe in those things, none at all. But when they do these things, we can't just sit back, you know, because they get brazen and they do that kind of fool you. And the more you watch what PUP is doing in terms of all their releases, you know, they just don't have no credibility, man. But they do this to tarnish your character and basically defame you. And this cannot be left like that. So we have to deal with it, and that is why I decided to do this. And of course, at a time when I have personal matters to deal with, you know, the only challenge in terms of that I deal with that, and I have to also waste time on things like this, especially.
Which was the page, that the Facebook page that this
I
was?
did that Channel 5. The Channel 5 post something up and thing, you know. But like I say, you know what do I expect from Ashcroft and the PUP? Because that is Channel 5 is for them. You know, that is a political organ, no two ways about it. If you ever read Channel 5, you will know they want to purport to be a news agency, but they are a political organ. And I don't expect anything less from them. I may expect that they would at least have a decency to limit how ridiculous they will be. But, I guess we're in politics right now, Checky, and, some people have said, Aragon, anything here can take place in politics. We are close to election, 3.5 weeks away, and they will do anything in terms of trying to gain ground. But the sad thing, I think the PUP are losing ground every day that goes by. But anyway, Checky, like I said, I had to do, I definitely have to take legal action. And these are the things that we have to deal with, in a time when we have, I think, more important things to deal with in terms of looking after the people on the ground.
Somebody here is saying, Minister, no make that distract you from your from your mission.
No, that won't definitely not.
Hello, good morning, SugarCity Morning Show.
Yes.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, sir. Just lower your radio, please, or your television. Thank you.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. Good morning, Chucky.
Good morning, sir.
Well, I just recall in relation to Ashcroft. We, the Belizean people, must understand that Ashcroft has only one thing that he wants from Belize. He wants to take control of Belize. And the way to take control of Belize is that he will support the People's United Party. Last time he did that. Last time when he came down, he spent so much money on the PUP, spending, buying votes and everything. The same thing he wants to, happily after that, the UDP won, and Ashcroft did not get everything he wanted. But he bought nearly half of Belize, all the industries we had, all the things that earn money, retail, whatever he could buy, he bought. And he probably would have bought more. But fortunately, down the road, the UDP came back. And the UDP has been trying to get back all these national assets that Ashcroft took. He is back again. He's going to support the People's United Party. He's going to spend millions of dollars. Man, we Belizean people have to understand that we have to stand up for our country. This is our country. We can't allow Ashcroft to come here, buy the PUP, and then get the PUP into government, and then take over Belize. That is what will happen. We have to be Belizean. We as Belizeans must be patriotic. We must understand that we cannot allow a rich foreigner to come into this country and take over Belize. He feels he can do that. He has been doing that in most of the islands in the world. He has been to our islands in front of us, buying them out, and he wants to do the same thing here. So I am saying this general election is much more than just voting for leaders. It is voting for leaders who will stand up for the country of Belize, or leaders who will sell out to Ashcroft as they did in the past. So we must be careful. Thank you, Chucky.
Okay, thank you very, very much, Carla. Well, you say, Minister, it's the people that will decide,
Of course.
When the election comes, the people will decide. Like you say, when you go to the polls, that vote is a vote that you're doing, and that will give you the determination of what you want
that
to see
is
for
your
your country
sacred
for the
right
next
as
5
a
years.
Belizean to be able to vote, There's a lot of people who can't vote. Someone can't vote because they never register in time and things like that. But every single Belizean have that sacred right that you are given from birth, from when you're born.
Nobody can take that away from you.
Nobody can take that away from you. You have that right, that God-given right in this country where you can vote. And I always think that at the end of the day, the power lies with the people. Like people make them decisions, Chucky. And I think at the end of the day, it is important that they take that decision making seriously, because it means a lot for this country. It means a lot for our future. And that is why I think that everybody must take it very seriously in terms of that. But Chucky, I want them to know, I want everybody to know that we are here working hard. Everything I do, first and foremost, has to do in the interest of the people of this country. And I say that because, Chucky, we're not here forever. Whoever feel that they will be here forever, they need to check again. None of us are here forever. You understand me? And sometimes the only way you understand those things is when you experience things within your own family. I have been through this a long time ago. I know that the mere fact that we are here, that we came to this earth, the mere fact that we will go. What is important as far as I'm concerned is what we can do in terms of helping our community, because what will surpass each and every one of us is our country. You understand me? Our country is here to stay. You look at the history of the United States. I mean, they've gone through, and I say, centuries in terms of their history. But what remains? People come and go, but what remains? Your country. The country remains.
True.
And that will be the same here. And it all depends on what we want to leave behind, our legacy. What do we want to leave in terms of the future for our children, our children's children, and so forth. You know, that is the important thing. And I think as leaders, we have to take and understand these things, because at the end of the day, we want to have the right leaders that will make the right decisions for this country, do the right thing for our people. And those decisions sometimes may not be the more popular decisions, Checky, but it is the right decisions that must be made for the benefit of the people in this country. You know, I've always said it. I've always told people, you know, if you do right, you can't do wrong. And definitely, my leadership is all about doing what is putting our people first, doing what is right for our people in our division. And I will tell you, in the last 5 years, we have done tremendous work, Checky, that I will tell you, and I'm not afraid for saying, you go put all the PUP and UDP representatives together for the last 30 years in this division. And they put all their work together, and they can't compare what we have done in 5 years here in the East, you know. But Checky, the work continues. There's so much work that needs to be done. And I will say that at the end of the day, I am committed. I remain steadfast in my commitment and dedication to the people of the East and this country. And I said this country because as a leader, you know, I must be able to express how I feel and what I think in terms of decision-making that takes place in cabinet. And I'm not afraid for talk. And I say this because this is what people have voted you for, leadership, you know, for have that vision and to go after these things for the benefit of the people. You know, and Checky, when you look at that, and that's why when people ask me, but why you not put flags on that, it's simple. Why will I waste money on flags and things when we can use that same money to invest in our people at this point in time that needs it? You know?
Yes.
I had a nice project to do on Liberty Avenue. We already hadn't gotten the approvals that was stated to start here in September. Early September. By mid-September, we would have had the entire Liberty Avenue lighted up in terms of these double lights, you know, right in the center of the boulevard. You know, all of that money was approved in terms of the through BL, and of course through what we would have had to find on our part to get this project and make it a reality. But the truth of the matter, Checky, how will I justify to the people of Orange Walk East that I go ahead and invest all this money in our lights when people not have lights in other areas? Because I know we are trying to get lights, and I've been always pushing for lights, and people could tell you, how do I justify that to the people? How do I justify that we have spent so much thousands of dollars on a project like this right now, when that money could be put to better use, man? What you know, people have hardships out there, you know. I'm telling you, some people can't pay their rent. Some people have issues dealing with their utility bills. And not that they want to falter. It is just that this whole COVID situation has brought about hardships, economic hardships. You know, like I said, the good public servant that is out there and have a job, and that is okay. But there are people out there who have taken the blunt of this thing, people who have missed through the government's financial programs, whether it be the unemployment relief or the pantry program. Some people just get simply missed because of what? They don't know about computer, they don't know for apply, they don't have the ability to pick up the phone and call and follow through with certain things. You know, a lot of situations, Checky, and in those cracks in terms of where there have been a number of people have been left behind, somebody must pick up those slacks. And that is what I have done, Checky. I've done to my as best as I can to try to reach out to the people in the East to look after the East. It's not easy, and decisions have to be made. I could have gone ahead and said, well, you know what, make we spend money on this project in terms of light up the Liberty Avenue. That project will still happen, you know, because it's already approved. But at this point in time, I have to make one decision. Do we go ahead and do that? Or we hold that off, man, and say whatever funds we would have used there or garnered for that, make we get it, but make we put it to people. Make we use it to the people. And it comes to the same policy, the same idea, in terms of putting up flags and banners at this point in time. I speak for myself, Checky. I can't talk for no other politician, whether UDP or PUP. Only could talk about myself. And that is the decision I have made. I've made it early because at the end of the day, I think it is the right decision. At the end of the day, like I say, like you mentioned, it is the people who will decide.
Yeah.
But my leadership, it's all about the people, and it's not a easy decision because I tell you, I got a lot of UDP say, Arago, you know, they do this, and I put fly, and I put them banner, I got PUP, they out to you and thing. And tell them, listen to, as far as I'm concerned, I'm bigger than that. And I'm looking after the people that I can help. You know how good I feel when I go assist somebody who had a serious situation because they couldn't meet them bill towards the light, or they may cut them out, or they don't have one food for, or the correct for only medicine or for, and we could reach out at this point in time. I think it is important for us to do so. And Checky, it is what it is. At the end of the day, you know, 3.5 weeks from election, people will decide. But I stand my ground in that because I truly feel it is the right decision to do. I think there's other infrastructural things that we were considering during this year, and it holds true to the government,
Right.
to the UDP. Look at the projects that we had in line in the pipeline, Checky. Why government? Did government hold all of those funds back as best as they could from the government coffers, hold those funds back from the budget, and what? Put it to the use in terms of reaching out to programs for the public. I think those are the right things to do at this point in time with COVID-19.
Hello, good morning, SugarCity Morning Show.
Yes, good morning, Checky.
Good morning, sir. Morning, morning.
Good morning.
Hi, good morning. I know you're doing a very great job for people for Joab East. And I think you're holding the court and you're doing the right thing, but not putting out of political billboards and political flags, and assisting the people of Joab who need, people of Joab East who needs to eat. These people do not care about the civilian people. All they care about is trying to win an election, to go back and do the same thing they did in the 2008, 2009, 2007, and 2008, of stealing the civilian people to enriching themselves, to put the money in foreign banks. Civilian people, let's do the right thing and vote for the United Democratic Party for a better belief. Our children and grandchildren matter, and our futures matter. Good morning.
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you, Carla.
Yeah, Minister, we know that the party will be launching its manifesto tonight, which is a great program.
Right.
Everyone should tune into, not only UDPs, but the entire country. But what are some of the plans that you have forward for your area, Orange Walk East, in the next 5 years?
Well, you know, I definitely won't be doing a lot in terms of highlighting all the work that needs to be done in terms of promises, because I think the Belizean people don't want to see promises, especially in our division. I know they want to say that they have promised a whole heap of things. People want somebody that will make it happen, you know, and get it done. And I will tell you, as I am putting out a document very soon, and that will be sent out to all our residents, our constituents, and it will speak about the record of accomplishments that we have done in the East, because I think that record speaks for itself in terms of the commitment, in terms of the drive and the vision we have to really move the Orange Walk East Division to greater heights. And I say this because, you know, from the day, from before we won this election in the East, we have not stopped working, Checky. We continue the work. It's not because election they come on that, but the work continues on a daily basis. It's because that is my commitment. This is the dedication, commitment I have to the people of the East. You know, this is all I live for. My wife rail up on all of my kids because I know they're wrong. But that, like I tell them, this is my commitment to the people of the East, to my country. You know, when I'm done with politics, then I will be there. But the fact is that this is the time right now I think our country needs us the most during this COVID pandemic, in terms of steering this country and economy forward in the right direction. I think, you know, to me, it's all about looking at what we can do to improve our country. And that is my commitment, Checky, and that is why, you know, I relentless when it comes to getting the work done, to making something every day, every week, every month, something must be happening. Because that's my commitment. I'm there for the people, and definitely, you know, it doesn't come without challenges, you know, sacrifices I have to make in terms of my family and all of that, but I do it because this is what I love to do. You know how you can impact lives? Check it when you build the new building, the Louisiana, you know, you could just watch that building going up and you could know, man, with the effort of the people from Louisiana Government School, the principal and everybody that had a say in this project, in the lobbying efforts, in them putting it forward, everybody who had come together, Checky. You know how I feel that together we could make this and get this building up? I mean, and you know that it will be there for years to come, and the impact it will have in our community.
Hello, good morning, Sugar City Morning Show.
Good morning, Checky. Good morning, Minister.
Good morning, brother.
I just to check with you, Minister. I know we have spoken before about the lights at Sandy Field, and you mentioned it about a month ago for the show, but we have not seen any thing happening with getting the light connected in Sandy Field now. Could you address that for us?
Yeah, sure. No. Well, I spoke to the mayor yesterday. Well, basically, I texted him and asked him if he could just get the because they have to go and apply to BL for that to be connected, and the town council has to do that, you know. He said he will work on that. So
the lights are there already.
The lights and they up everything there. They just need for him, you know, like when you go and apply for a meter.
Yeah.
Well, you have to do that, right? And
yes.
that has to be done from the village, from the town council, because they are the ones responsible for parks. So I believe that will be done very, very soon. But that is where we are. And speaking about the Sandy Field, I would like to say that we want to do an inauguration very soon. I think right now we're finished basically. That connection that is left, and I think we installed some couple of benches there that wants to be painted. Once we finish with that, then and the goalposts will be up this week here. I think we'll do an inauguration as soon as possible. Very small, check. It can't be nothing big.
Yes.
But you know, these are the things that we are talking about. You know, leaving legacies behind in terms of leaving good work that improves the lives of our community. To me, that those things are priceless. When you have young people go out there and a place to play ball, could sit down, you know, communities, people could come out in their communities and have a place to go on. To me, those things are priceless. You know, like the building, the Louisiana. I mean, I could just imagine, and I don't foresee how the students and teachers will use that building to the betterment of our community. To me, that priceless.
Building the future.
And that is what is important for me. You know, when I said I knew high school comments, you know, how good I feel at the Carmelita.
Yeah, Carmelita.
The technical buildings that will go up, check it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know how good our community will feel about that. And to me, that is the most important thing right now in getting these things. And that is why we cannot rest. Every work we have done is in the betterment of our community. And to me, that is why people vote for you. That is why people put you there, so that you work and wholeheartedly you make that commitment. Because a lot of people don't want to make the commitment in politics. And I could tell you, Checky, there's a lot of good people out there who have the qualities to do well, but they don't want to get into politics. Why? Because it comes with sacrifice. You know, you can't even go to the airport and pick up somebody if they don't want to take your picture. You can't do nothing in like that. It comes with great sacrifice and that commitment. If you truly make that commitment, man, politics not nice, you know.
Yeah, we have a good news here for the nation as well, Minister. 4 of the escapees, 4 more has been captured.
You see, well, I know
like you were saying, no?
From my experience, I tell you, police has always been able to recapture nearly every single body when we have these outbreaks. I remember one time when I was a police officer and we had the Hurricane Mitch coming. We had an outbreak likewise, and we worked from the night when they broke out, and by morning we started capture them, bam, bam, bam. And by 1 day and a half done, we recaptured every single one of them. So I definitely am kudos to the police and BDF and Coast Guard.
And as well, the community plays a big role, right?
Helping, and that is important. People must make calls, like I said, Checky. If anything comes about, make a daily call to the police and pass on information so they can act on it, you know. But Checky, like I said, definitely this is where we are, you know, in terms of politics, and of course in how I look at things as leadership. That is why it is so important that people make the right decision on this election day.
Hello, good morning.
Morning, Checky. Morning, Mr. Aragon.
Yeah, good morning, sir.
Morning.
Yeah, Mr. Aragon.
Yes, my brother.
Good morning, sir.
Morning, sir.
You don't make their people worry you, man. I think you make one good decision. We're supposed to sue them people who make the allegation. But I want the leader of the opposition
stand up and tell the Belizean people when Karim down and do that China, who paid Patrick, who invited and only he had one other member of the city council gone along with her. What they gone and do there? Everybody know that China. And that word way they use, Mr. Aragon, everybody will win. Anything no sound too nice. I could recall when I was a little boy growing up that George Price was sent back. The man said he the follow George Price footstep, and I could recall when, as a little boy growing up, George Price was sent back from London because he was caught selling lock, stock, and barrels. He was selling out Belize lock, stock, and barrels. He was caught with the president of Guatemala. He came down here and told the people, it's not me, it's you, because I'm representing you. He said, voten para mí cuando yo gane, es el gobernador de Belize tiene que salir del país del jamón y el papa. Y el huevo frito que él come, ustedes no van a comer, le dijo a la gente. Y cuando ganó, ¿qué le dijo a la gente? Cuando regresó, había elección, cuando ganó de vuelta, ¿qué le dijo a la gente? Compatriotas beliceños tienen que trabajar más duro, tienen que comer más bush bull, fuera de black peel, más peel quinoa. Yo no le canté más wedge, más quequeo, más que pescuite. Y para que consigamos nuestra independencia. And that is the same thing. That man will sell out to Ashcraft, these going one communist country. If they slip and make the PUP, they never last their head out for it. Because Ashcraft will run the country. Bye for this morning.
Yeah.
So people are not
Thank you.
sleeping, Mr.
Yeah, of course. I don't think right now in our technological age, I think when a lot of people are not sleeping, but I think a lot of people are, how would I put it? I think they have to think clearly. You know, and I think that's all we ask them. And I know that at the end of the day, they will see clearly that the United Democratic Party is the right option for this country, check in. No two ways about it. I mean, under the leadership of Johnny Briceño, come on. You know what he has done in his past. You know the amount of land. You know, yeah, I think yesterday, Pantak show, you had my opponent basically say, well, you know, Tower Hill no have no bearing ground. Well, look like he just find that out. That has been the case for decades. That from time immemorial, that Tower Hill does not have a bearing ground. And he said that publicly. So but he not say who have all the land, who took all the land from the people at Tower Hill. That's Johnny Briceño. That the PUP. Which he is part and parcel, man. They don't got no shame. As the Johnny Briceño post up, then, well, I don't know if that's him, but the PUP then post up one. When I say, Allah for, what are the slogan again? I forget the name.
Allah way for win.
Allah way for win. Big sign. Where you think they have that sign? Where Johnny Briceño, they post up there with, I don't know how much campaigners. And the big sign, you know where they post that up? They post that up right on this boulevard. All that land where you see that for Johnny Briceño.
Oh, yeah.
You understand me? He posted a big sign on the one land we said that, you know.
Oh, one there though?
Yes, one big one there. Okay. And they don't have no shame in there right there. Say, we all away and win, man. All away and win where? That Briceño and win. You know, say all the land there for he. That away in Niger and Petio and everybody need to come and squat and take peace because these are the kind of things where somebody could own so much acres of land, check it. And then our own Belizeans don't have. When you look at Tower Hill, no bearing ground for Tower Hill. Who have gone all the land? No land for we people there. I have to go and find land at Carmelita, do a subdivision there to accommodate the people at Tower Hill. Why? Because there is no land in Tower Hill. Thanks to the PUP. They don't say that, but that is the reality. You know? And these are the kind of things that we have to ensure that we have good leaders that will not do this to our country, not do this to our people. You know how hard it is when you know that the village has expanded and need lots and you can't find no land wrong? Checky? Tough, you know. And then they write that the PUP that the same architects of corruption when in the past when they were in power, we gave out hundreds and thousands of acres, you know, deprive the people in the villages and deprive the people of this country for a piece of land. And now they are come back right now and say, we are ensure every single person get a piece of land. Man, you don't know that a crap. You understand me? That are just pull wool over people's eye. And we have to be awake right now. We can't allow the PUP to come and just chew one bunch of deceitful things, a bunch of false promises, you know, a bunch of lies, outright lies, and we are buy that, or we are swallow that. No, man. As the Belizean people, I think we sharper than that. And that is why I say confidently, checking right now, that the United Democratic Party will win this next election. Will win it because people know that this party has stood for the people. And I not say perfect, and I always have to say this because the first critics out there will say, oh, but the UDP this and that too. Listen to me, I not say the UDP perfect, man. We live in a real world. We are dealing with human beings, you know. But at the end of the day, if you weigh this like one pound of flour, man, the United Democratic Party is far better quality, you know, than the PUP. You know, we are far better in terms of the kind of candidates we have, the people who are there. Just look at the party leadership, the leadership of the party right now. I mean, Johnny Brisson, you can't compare to Patrick Farber, man. Not right now. And then Patrick Farber just to start as a leader in terms of being at the highest echelon of the party right now as party leader.
The man proved himself already.
Yeah, no, Sammy, he's proven himself, and he has proved himself even further. And I don't say the man perfect, too. I mean, none of us are perfect. You know, we don't know gods or things like that. But at the end of the day, man, we have to look at what and the party that will do the right thing for the people. And that is the United Democratic Party. Check it. You could look at how they handle the COVID situation, man. The programs that they have come up with to look at reaching out to the public in these hard, dire times, you know. And this is what makes a difference between the UDP and the PUP. The PUP, pack of wolves waiting to jump right in and take what they can. Because that is their modus operandi. You know, they have done it in the past. Check it. What says they won't do it now? And when you add Ashcraft in that soup and thing too, you know.
Hello, good morning, SugarCity Morning Show.
Sí, buenos días aquí.
Buenos días.
Yes, buenos días.
Buen día. Aquí reportando del este.
Ok, muy bien.
Ahorita puedes ver de que los filipinos andan alborotados. Uno, están desafiando el protocolo de COVID. El protocolo de COVID dicta de que hay que tener distanciamiento. Y esta gente anda en grupos de 3. Y bien saben de que andan yendo de casa en casa. Eso es exponiendo a la gente, especialmente a Chichi y a Tato, que viven allá, que no queremos que se enfermen. Y además quisiera decirles a la gente de que el PUP es el mismo PUP viejo. Esta gente tal vez no es el mismo de Joe Briceño, pero está Johnny Briceño. No está tal vez Spat, pero está Luke, está como le llaman dos Spat allá. Y mira, esta gente son los remanentes del huracán que afectó a Belice durante la etapa de 2008 a 98 a 2006. Son la gente que hizo mayor daño a este país. Mira, su filosofía del PUP es mantener a la gente pobre.
That's right.
Durante esa etapa, antes de independencia, ellos pretendían mantener a la gente ignorante. ¿Y saben cómo lo conseguían? No abriendo radios, no abriendo televisión, querían que todo el mundo esté pobre, que no tiene ignorante, que no saben lo que está pasando. Pero sí, su gente de ellos, sus familiares, sus meros allegados son los que estaban recibiendo scholarships, estaban consiguiendo los mejores puestos en gobierno. Si se dan cuenta que son los mayores abogados que existen, pura gente cerca de PUP. Esa gente nos quiere mantener, otra vez como vuelvo a decir, ignorantes. Ellos son los que causaron esta dependencia de comprar votos. Yo puedo decir hasta que en 98 y 2003 ellos compraron con dinero las elecciones y ellos utilizaron el dinero de Ashcraft. Ahorita andan, nosotros somos fantulones, nosotros no necesitamos dinero. ¿Sabes por qué dicen que no necesitan dinero? Aquí está Ashcraft. Ashcraft está en Belice y les pasan suficiente dinero para que traten de comparaciones. Así que le pedimos a nuestra gente que abran los ojos y que no les den el voto a ellos, que ganen su dinero y voten UDP. Nosotros tenemos los mejores representantes. Man to man, Eloy Aragón Jr. is the better man. Él no anda pidiendo, no anda anda prometiendo cosas que no va a cumplir. Todas las cosas que ha hecho en el Drug Este es porque él tiene ese compromiso con la gente. Y eso es lo que la gente le está gustando en Orange East. Desde Santa Marta va a ir red, Carmelita va a ir red, Toguayil va a ir red, Palmar va a ir red, y no se imaginen el Orange East. ¿Ah? Vamos a ir red, porque este es el único gobierno con la opción para el desarrollo, la única opción para nosotros, la única opción para nuestro futuro, ¿verdad? Entonces, señor Aragón, manténgase fuerte, vamos a hacer esta campaña lo más posible, porque el este va a ser como se llama, epicentro de elección, porque ¿qué piensa de que él lo tiene hecho? Jamás. ¿Ah? Así que, señores, estemos firmes y vamos a la victoria con el UDP. Buenas noches.
Gracias. Buenos días.
Man, he got a flag by a vehicle too, no? He got a big flag.
Yeah.
Flag too.
Right.
And the UDP flag. Yeah, Minister, but we need to take a break.
Yes, all right, then we'll come back, sure, man.
14 away from 9. Once again, want to say a pleasant morning to all the listeners of the East Radio 104.9. Listen right here in Orange Walk and all the way in Belize City. Also North Television Channel 10, covering the nation. We take a break. We'll be back after these messages right here on North Television Channel 10.
Since 2015, Santa Marta villagers have seen development like never before. The road, which was always flooded and sometimes impassable, is now an all-weather road all year round. The streets within the village have been consistently maintained, and new streets have been opened. The new Land 12-mile road and bridge were rehabilitated. Electricity expansion was done in several new areas, and street lights were placed throughout the village. Water expansion was also done. As a result, all villagers now enjoy potable water in their house. The old water well had become unserviceable, so a new well has been dug, providing a more reliable source of water to Santa Marta villagers. Prior to 2015, there was no community center, so one was built. A football field was also built and equipped with LED stadium lights. Lots were made available to villagers and their land papers delivered to them. Educational assistance has been given to hundreds of students from the village for high school and sixth form. Every year, mothers are given a treat, and during Christmas, everyone enjoys the generosity of Honorable Eloy Aragon Jr. In times of disaster, Mr. Aragon has always been there for the people of Santa Marta. In good times and in bad times, Eloy Aragon Jr. with you always.
Durante el gobierno del UDP, más de 10,000 personas pudieron ser dueños de sus propias casas por medio del programa de cancelación de hipotecas. Bajo el PUP, el DFC estaba en bancarrota. Pero hoy el DFC es una institución robusta y exitosa. El Partido Unido Democrático, UDP, está orgulloso de haber tomado las medidas y obtenido los resultados que benefician a todos los beliceños. Vote UDP, porque su futuro es lo más importante.
Meet Johnny. Johnny paid $4,000 to dig a drain around his house. Johnny then sold his house and all its contents for $3,000. Johnny's a fool. Don't be Johnny. The PUP spent $44 million of public funds to dredge out the Port of Belize. The PUP then sold the Port of Belize and all its assets for $40 million to Lucas Pat. Luke defaulted on his loans to Belize Bank. Now Michael Ashcroft owns the port. The PUP. Do you trust them with your future? Vote UDP because your future matters.
When you think about compassion, care and kindness, the area representative of Orange Walk East, Honorable Eloy Aragon Jr., immediately comes to mind. He has demonstrated through dedication and hard work that the people he represents are his priority. His work in Orange Walk East to deliver goods and services has been never-ending. Infrastructure, streets, water, land, social assistance, sports, and education are areas in which Mr. Aragon has focused and delivered to his people in the Orange Walk East. Honorable Aragon has lived a life of dedicated service to his country and people with an excellent track record. Orange Walk East deserves the best. So, for continued development, vote for Honorable Elodie Aragon Jr.
Belize saw unprecedented development and transformation under the UDP over the last 12 years. Belize's development has encountered challenges outside of her control this year, but the United Democratic Party stands competent, prepared, and electrified to lead our country through recovery and into prosperity. Join us on Thursday, October 15 at 7:30 p.m. as we launch our 2020-25 manifesto, Because Your Future Matters. Catch us on Love TV, Wave Radio and Wave TV, Channel 7, Nortevisión, Maximum Cable, and on the UDP Belize Facebook page.
Development comes through vision, dedication, and hard work. These qualities possessed by Honorable Elodie Aragon are in full display as he embarked in a project to open new streets in Carmelita Village. This will allow access to new landowners to their own little piece of the jewel. Honorable Elodie Aragon Jr. and the government of Belize, leadership that works.
We have made unprecedented investments in developing the backbone infrastructure of our nation, which has positively impacted every community in this country, with new roads, sporting complexes, water and waste management systems, hospitals, schools, electricity, and internet connectivity. These investments have contributed greatly to the movement of people, goods, and services, and has bolstered our economic growth while setting the stage for a new era of Belizean prosperity in the upcoming decade.
Since 2014, Honorable Elodie Aragon has been quietly and consistently assisting deserving residents of Orange Walk East through a pantry program that he put together using personal resources and also with the support of generous business persons. It started with the distribution of 100 packages per month and has now doubled to 200 packages per month. The packages comprise of rice, beans, flour, and sugar, which are staples in any household and a great help to the recipients. During the state of emergency in the month of April, Honorable Aragon also prepared and delivered 3,000 food hampers to residents of Orange Walk East. In the first instance, 1,500 parcels were delivered, followed by 1,500 more 2 weeks later. This was done because Mr. Aragon was aware of the hardships some of the residents were going through due to the COVID curfew. This is a man who cares. Honorable Elodie Aragon Jr. with you always.
Let's take a look at the PUP DNA. Julius Espat, representative for Cayo South, was sold the Chief Justice residence by a PUP government for a mere pittance and turned around and flipped it for over $1 million. Cousin Luke Espat got a sweetheart pass from the then PUP government when they sold him the country's most valuable asset in the Port of Belize, and he allowed Ashcroft to take it over. Now cousin Mike Espat, representative for Toledo East, brought the VOA compound in PG with a DFC loan, which was later written off. He sold it for millions. Corruption is in the PUP DNA. This is the same old PUP.
On election day, let's make the right choice. Re-elect Elodie Aragon Jr. With you always, leadership that works. Representing Orange Walk East. Because our future matters. Not even a question. Who may vote it be? You already know we voted for the UDP. Cause they are the best one in the driver's seat. So why would you expect them suffer the son of the East?
Welcome back to the Sugar City Morning Show, folks. It's 5 minutes away from 9. We're on our last leg this morning. We're here. We got the East in the house, and the minister is here with us this morning. Minister, elections is coming, and there's a lot that you have done in the East. The great accomplishments.
Well, the work continues. We never stop work, Cheke. It's because at the end of the day, the little things that we can do goes a long way for people, and definitely right now we have Public Works is working with us right now and assisting in the routine work that we do in terms of trying to fix up roads and stuff like that, especially right now where we have had a lot of roads that were open, but we never get to dump some of them last time and things like that, so we have returned to continue with that work, Yeah. So we have a lot of that taking place right now. I think in Palmar, we have been there really opening roads, dumping roads, really they make the expansion of new roads and that become a reality,
Palmar need a real infrastructure.
Yes, more because if the village has expanded so fast, they're not joke. I mean, if you look at the amount of lights we have put up, the expansions and new road that we have opened, so we were out there this week and last week and we have been working on expanding new areas because they're not only about upkeep of the roads there, we have to upkeep it, but it's about opening new roads and dumping them and things like that. Last time I know we had dumped some roads and we never really full them with the white marl. We open roads, but we never, you have to put that white marl and roll it so that you begin to make it into an actual street. So this is the kind of work we have done to really transform those areas and those new roads, road access for people in Palmar. So the work continues. We know where we left off and we know what we need to go back and finish. And that is what we have been trying to do here in Palmar. From here, I think the equipment will be moving up to Carmelita too, because we have a new area that we opened and they need some dumping. So there's a lot of work that continues to be done. There's a lot of areas that we have to work on too. So Public Works is working on those things and prioritizing the areas that need to be fixed. I know with the weather and everything, we have certain areas in town too that needs to be touched likewise, and so we are going to look at those too, But this is a continuous progress in terms of the works that has to be done in terms of maintaining these roads, So that is definitely something we are working on, Apart from that, we have the police station, like I mentioned in Carmelita. We didn't get the ferroconcrete building, the budget that was there, but we did get to put something temporary until we can get the ferroconcrete building up and running. So that will be done very soon.
That's it there?
Yeah, that is coming. That is being brought right now. We're getting ready to prepare the place this week so we could come and put that building down.
Okay. Hello, good morning, Sugar City Morning Show.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
You can see the work being done, but the question lies, why pre-election? Why before a few months of election? And my question still stands. Where or when will the equipment for the Ministry of Works be in every district to carry out these jobs? All these jobs are being done, are being given out to private contractors, right? In the past, you had equipment at the Ministry of Work carrying out all these works that we're talking right now. All the village streets, all the feeder roads. Now, pre-election, we're seeing a lot of movement all around the country. My plea is this: bring back the equipment that the Ministry of Work had, the bulldozers, the graders, the rollers, the trucks, and you will have employment at the Ministry of Works, at Public Works. Right now, the limited amount of people they have there is what? Not even to clean the road, the side of the road. Because the side of the road going to Creek, it was given to a private contractor. Someone that don't even know how to hold a machine, but he give it out again as a contract. And that's the job of the Ministry of Works, to upkeep the size of the road, to upkeep the feeder roads, to upkeep the streets, or to open streets in villages. This is the job of the Ministry of Works, right? So the job can continue year-round while you have equipment and personnel at the Ministry of Works. That's what we have. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, Carla. Well, for one, they're not just before election. We have been working every day, Checky. We have the amount of footage that we can highlight in terms of the work we have done from day one. In terms of all the roads, I mean, they've never been upkept the way they are being upkept right now. You know, and I could tell you that for son because I could tell you from when I first started to where we are, these roads are always working, and definitely this is a continuation. We were in Palma last time, and what we did, we opened new roads for people. We never get a chance to dump it because the equipment had to move elsewhere. The equipment has come back, and we are trying to get these things done. Now, of course, you could always have an investment be made in equipment for public works. We've always said that, but listen, any day you can't take off the kind of work where private contractors do. Definitely that has to be a balance. I mean, at the end of the day, the amount of work that is out there, public works can't do it alone, even with their equipment. Certain things have to look at getting a private contractor. The same could be said about town council. Town council could have all the equipment and then do their own work. That is not the case, you know, and I think that those are some of the challenging things that we have to look at to see how we move forward.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning. Well, just calling to big up Minister Elodie Aragon for his tremendous work that he's been doing in the Orange Walk East constituency. I come November 11th, he will be re-elected as the minister, as the representative of Orange Walk East.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you, Carla. Yeah, so the work continues, check it. These are not just before election. None of these things. All of these things are things that already were in the making and planned. You know, what has happened is that with this COVID, a lot of things that we were going to do did not happen. The opposite is true. You understand? Definitely, it is all how you see it. I think if you live in the Orange Walk East, you will appreciate the kind of work that we have done, the vision that we have. Simple things as I know that maybe certain people who comment maybe not live in the area, you know, or they live elsewhere, and they used to say, like, for instance, in a central, Johnny Briceño has been there for 30 years, and what has he done? He have nothing to show the people of Central what he has done. You know, so maybe people get used to say that. And so anything they say that work. But in the East, Shaki, we have been working from day one in terms of getting things going. And I think one good thing where I want to highlight too is the development of that new school. You know, the construction, infrastructural work, we are at the second phase right now, Shaki. And if we could maybe show the pictures, make people see the kind of, yes, so we how that school look, man, and nice. Not only Chinchi extension, you know, it's a major extension to the Louisiana government school. Yeah, exactly. You know, a 2-story building. Yeah, what that huge, that's no joke. And what that will do for the East, Chucky. I mean, I don't foresee that how that will finish off when it's done. You know, but I mean, what that has done, man, and what it will do, Chucky, in terms of in the Louisiana government school, major. I can't even tell you everything, but I'm so enthusiastic about that and the work that we do now. So these are the kind of things that we will definitely impact here in the East. So these are the kind of projects that I feel good about together. Like I said, as a community, as along working with the school, we have been able, and the government, been able to bring this thing about for the people. So these are the kind of things. Yes, man. Yes, and like I say, so they're not just now. This thing not just happened because the election was coming around. This thing was in the making a long time. The new preschool at Santa Marta, that not just happened because of the election. That has happened a long time ago. These things take time, and not just pop up overnight.
Like you know, say,
the new high school, you know, the Carmelita. Of course.
So it
don't happen. Yeah. Just overnight. It just doesn't fall from the sky. The thing take time for make we could do. And it comes because of the vision and the hard work that myself, along with the community, the stakeholders, come together and get these things done. You know, and we've had setbacks, I tell you. If we never had COVID this year, it would have been the opposite. The amount of work that would have been done even more, because we already had a number of little things in plan, but all of that has been derailed because of COVID. So, not like they could say we just work because of election at the time. You might say a lot more work if we never had COVID. But the reality is that we are getting there. You know, we had the Sandy Field. We are going to do that inauguration right here. I think the last installations that we did were the benches. That is up right now. Only the finishing work that in terms of the light post, the football posts or poles over they put up, And once we are finished with that, check it, which will be by Saturday here, maybe Saturday I could do an inauguration, or maybe Monday. But as soon as we do it, it'll be within a couple days, and that will be a great work for the community. You know.
Great. Let's take this final call of the morning. Hello, good morning. Sugar City Morning Show, good morning.
Hello, good morning, sir. I just want to thank the Minister Ragot for his hard work that he's doing. And to me, he's really a man of vision, and that really and truly he accomplished his mission. And he has shown a lot of progress, even though he's just a Minister of State. Giving him another term for this election, you know what else he would do for his constituency, and also for his people, of these Belizean people. So I would like to ask the people, the public, the community, to please vote for Elodia Aragon on this November 11th. And forward we will move on. Thank you.
Thank you, Carla. Yes, but definitely, and so the work continues. Look at the jump program that I'm then doing. Check it out, start a long time ago we have been doing that. And we are continuing to do that as long as I can, because I think it is something good for our community. You know, and I want to run right now. I have the villages, they call me and say, Ragon, what do you think? We don't want to jump that village too? So no, I have to double up the efforts and try to get jumps out to the villages. But, you know, I mean, it's all in a day's work, I say, Checky, because at the end of the day, you know, when I go to bed, you know, I feel very good of the things we have accomplished. And, you know, and this is just a small amount of work, okay, in terms of the kind of things that I'm doing in terms of the pantry right now. The amount of people we're helping with pantry, check it, is a lot, because this is the time people need it. And like I said, this is where we put all of our funds together. And not to worry about no sign, and not to worry about what people think. I'm doing what I feel is the right thing for the people in this time. And to me, that is who I am, Checky. And I want people to know that I stand with them. And that is why I do certain things, and that is why certain decisions are made. But definitely, my commitment to the East remains steadfast, firm. My vision is great for the East. Check it, and we could sit here and talk about all kind of great works that we have done. And I think definitely my accomplishment speaks for itself, and it speaks for the future of what will come. Because we have a lot of things that I want to see done in the very near future. And one of those is ensuring we get a lots for the people of Orange Walk, Tongue, East Side only. Right? Yep. So we will work on those things, Checky. And all I ask is for that continued support from the public so we can get and move things forward. And that will happen without a doubt, Checky. Yep. That is my commitment to the people of Orange Walk East and to this country, you know.
Two things I would like to ask you to touch on, which is very important. The launch of the manifesto tonight, and also you are expected to be here next week, Thursday again, but nomination day will be on Wednesday.
Right.
Before you come back next week. So I would like just to ask you to explain to the residents of Orange Walk East, what is it going to be like since we have this COVID right now?
Well,
people used to
come out
and parade and things
well,
like that.
I think the protocols that are out there right now, I think everybody understands them. You can't have more than 10 persons together. So for the nomination day, we'll be out there. I think definitely maybe we could try look at maybe a motorcade or something that will be done. I still have to sit with the committee and see what is feasible, what can be done. I tell you, our supporters really want to come out and rally, but, you know, during this time, you can't, you know. And definitely these are the kind of things that we have to discuss and see how we move forward for nomination day. But like I say, we can't have those large gatherings. It will not be permitted by the police, none at all, and it is for our safety. So I guess for nomination, once we reach that, just for go in and we sign up and be nominated, and that will be it, no?
Yeah. Would there be any way that your media team will be broadcasting or
yes, of course.
So
yes, definitely. Definitely, we'll work on that. I think we'll have that live on radio, and I am sure we could then pass it here on Channel 10 live, no? Yeah, so
people are into the Facebook as
yes,
well.
yes, Facebook.
Facebook as well?
Yes, definitely. I think everything we're doing is Facebook. Right. Yes. So that is what we are working on. But like I said, Checky, that, you know, with this whole COVID situation, we have to really be careful. Because the last thing you want to do, you have where people getting infected and all these things, you know.
As you know, Liberty Avenue is an area where a lot of people used to gather.
We used to walk from way there to nomination day, but I don't think we're going to have these gatherings like that, you know. So we will look at it, though, check it. And definitely you mentioned also the UDP manifesto launch tonight.
Right.
I am inviting everybody to tune in, all our UDPs and everybody who is interested, man, tune in from Facebook or on the I think it will be broadcasted live too.
It will be live right here on
So we're asking people to tune in so that you could see it. Yes, it will be on the East Radio.
Okay, that's tonight at 7:30.
Right.
Apart from that, Minister, we have many young people that will be voting for the very first time. In your closing remarks, I would like to ask you what's your message to those young people that will be voting for the very first time as well?
Well, you know, my message to all our young people, I say, you know, I know you must hear a lot of things, oh, vote for this, vote for that. I always say, do your research. You have to understand what is at stake right now. And I think a lot of young people don't really understand the entire politics, the history of politics in this country. Even myself, you know, I have to do my own read up on that, you know, to understand more. And I've done that in the past. Because you hear about them talk about Ashcroft, you hear them talk about Johnny Brisenian. Do your research, it is there for everybody to see. There's no hidden agenda here, you know. It is what is. It is the PUP. This majority of the candidates that are running for the People's United Party right now were part and parcel of the worst corrupt era in the history of this country. There's no two ways about it. That is a given fact. You could go and find out what each one of them did and what involvement they had in corruption. Because they had their hand in there. Johnny Brisenian being the first one, his hand was in the cookie jar, then catching in the cookie jar, he hand in the cookie jar. You know, these are the kind of things, but you know, nothing is better than when you as a young person could do your own research and see these things. End of the day, our young people are a major voting bloc in this election. And I think that we have a young dynamic leader in the name of Patrick Farber. You know, I think we have very young dynamic candidates in our party. And I think that when you look at the policies that have been set forth, there is no other party that has looked towards the young people. When you look at educational assistance to help them get their high school and sixth farm, or you name it, it is the United Democratic Party that has made those assistance to our students to be able for them to finish and accomplish their dreams in education. You understand? When you look at sports and that, it is this government that has supported a lot of these facilities for our young people. It is what has been, the UDP has made these things possible. So, and there's a lot of other areas that this government has been working to be able to support our young people in their future. And definitely, the future is for the young people, and not for me and you, too much, you know, check it out, we get old. It is more for the young people. And I think that is why the young people must look at this thing seriously and make the right decisions. And when they do these things and analyze these things and give it some thought, the only option is for the United Democratic Party. And that is why I'll ask all our young people, support the UDP, because the United Democratic Party is the party who has been there for the people, who stands for young people, who stands for a better Belize. And the young people want to see a better Belize because they have more stake in this country right now, because their future is there and their children's future to come. You understand? So with that, Cheke, that is my closing remark. Let us stay firm with the United Democratic Party. It is a better party for this country at this point in time. It is a party that that continues to manage well the COVID situation. It is a party that has proven its track record to recover in terms of bringing us out of the economic situation we are in right now. You put the PUP in there, the little things that are there, they will take away from us. Because you know who they finance these people. You have Ashcroft, you have a lot of things out there, a lot of things that we don't know. And definitely I think we want to stick with what we know and what we are seeing and the vision that the United Democratic Party has for this country. And that is the way forward, Chicky. No two ways about it. Why risk all of that with putting people who we know have robbed this country blind, who have brought this country to its knees? How can we instill a trust and confidence in them? We can't. We can't. Starting from Johnny Brisenian right down. So when the people at our hill say, when my contender says, oh, they don't have no bearing ground, that our hill, well, my brother, that is old news. That has been there a long time. Who created that issue? It's your same party leader, Johnny Brisenian. where all those lands are not there. But these are the things that people must know. And end of the day, stay firm with the UDP, because the UDP is here for the people of this country.
Well, thank you very much, Minister. Folks, this show repeats at 8 o'clock tonight, right after Truth Being Told, right here on North Vision Channel 10, also on the East Radio. I'd like to thank everyone who tuned in today. Remember to visit my sister's place right here on San Lorenzo housing site area, right here beside Channel 10. They have salbutes every day, hot dogs with bacon, burritos, and their promotion for this week is free coffee. Call 620-5947. Also, tomorrow, folks, tomorrow we will be having Tropigas. Mr. Castillo from Tropigas will be here up until 8 o'clock, and at 8 o'clock you will be joined by RC1 and Carlos Cetina for the show Get to Know Carlos. That's tomorrow morning right here on North Television Channel 10. Rahim, thanks very much. Minister, thanks.
My pleasure, Chike. My
Thanks
pleasure.
to all the listeners of the East Radio
Thanks,
as well.
thanks for all tuning in, yeah.
Yeah, thanks to everybody that worked there in the background, especially Rahim. And thanks for Fortunato for the coffee this morning. Thank you very much, Nato. You did a good job. Folks, we'll be back tomorrow. Have yourself a wonderful day. Robert Checker Usher, we say until tomorrow. Join us for one next edition of the Sugar City Morning Show right here on North Television Channel 10.
On election day, let's make the right choice. Re-elect Elodio Aragon Jr. With you always, leadership that works. Representing Orange Rock East. Because our future matters. Not even a question who may vote it be. You already know we voting for the UDP. Cause they are the best one in the driver's seat. So go put your X-ray test over the son of the East. Yeah, we talking about who? Aragon, Aragon, Aragon. We talking about who? Aragon, Aragon. The number one, we talking about who? Aragon, Aragon. One and only son out here of the East. Yeah, we voting for Aragon equality. Voting Aragon, he's the number one. Yeah, voting Aragon, he get the job done. Yeah. I know so blessed, hello the Aragon bring progress. Hard working, nothing and homeless. Hello the Aragon show progress. Leadership that works. Tell your Aragon don't come to play. Put the people first. Tell your Aragon after we always. Yeah, you could have a child your poor. Tell your Aragon sit on up on your door. 1 vote, 2 vote, 3 vote, 4. Time no objective and plenty more. The hard work, evident, humble, genuine and intelligent. When the people we indulgent. Hello they're not afraid to go to show the help. Hello no, push the youth and the sports, push the jobs and the roads. People first and the party after. Cause our future matter. Aragon, Aragon, Aragon. We talking about who? Aragon, Aragon. The number one, we talking about who? Aragon, Aragon. One and only son out here of the East. Yeah, we voting for Aragon equality. On election day, vote Elodio Aragon. Representing Orange Rock East. You will be on the line. Because our future matters.
Honorable Elodio Aragon remains steadfast in his commitment of delivering on his pledge to the people of Orange Walk East. As a result, Palmar Village is receiving much needed attention. The main street that passes through the village, which has been eroded due to rains and use over time, has been upgraded by your area representative and the government of Belize. Street works will be ongoing in the area. Honorable Elodio Aragon and the government of Belize. Leadership that works. Since 2015, Santa Marta villagers have seen development like never before. The road, which was always flooded and sometimes impassable, is now an all-weather road all year round. The streets within the village have been consistently maintained, and new streets have been opened. The Newland 12-mile road and bridge were rehabilitated. Electricity expansion was done in several new areas, and street lights were placed throughout the village. Water expansion was also done. As a result, all villagers now enjoy potable water in their house. The old water well had become unserviceable, so a new well has been dug, providing a more reliable source of water to Santa Marta villagers. Prior to 2015, there was no community center, so one was built. A football field was also built and equipped with LED stadium lights. Lots were made available to villagers and their land papers delivered to them. Educational assistance has been given to hundreds of students from the village for high school and sixth form. Every year, mothers are given a treat, and during Christmas, everyone enjoys the generosity of Honorable Eluder Aragon Jr. In times of disaster, Mr. Aragon has always been there for the people of Santa Marta. In good times and in bad times, Eluder Aragon Jr. with you always.
Durante el gobierno del UDP, más de 10,000 personas pudieron ser dueños de sus propias casas por medio del programa de cancelación de hipotecas. Bajo el PUP, el DFC estaba en bancarrota. Pero hoy el DFC es una institución robusta y exitosa. El Partido Unido Democrático, UDP, es orgulloso de haber tomado las medidas y obtenido los resultados que benefician a todos los beliceños. Vote UDP porque su futuro es lo más importante.
Meet Johnny. Johnny paid $4,000 to dig a drain around his house. Johnny then sold his house and all its contents for $3,000. Johnny's a fool. Don't be Johnny. The PUP spent $44 million of public funds to dredge out the Port of Belize. The PUP then sold the Port of Belize and all its assets for $40 million to Lucas Pat. Luke defaulted on his loans to Belize Bank. Now Michael Ashcroft owns the port. The PUP. Do you trust them with your future? Vote UDP because your future matters.
When you think about compassion, care and kindness, the area representative of Orange Rock East, Honorable Elodia Aragon Jr., immediately comes to mind. He has demonstrated through dedication and hard work that the people he represents are his priority. His work in Orange Rock East to deliver goods and services has been never-ending. Infrastructure, streets, water, land, social assistance, sports, and education are areas in which Mr. Aragon has focused and delivered to his people in Orange Rock East. Honorable Aragon has lived a life of dedicated service to his country and people with an excellent track record. Orange Rock East deserves the best. So, for continued development, vote for Honorable Elodia Aragon Jr.
Belize saw unprecedented development and transformation under the UDP over the last 12 years. Belize's development has encountered challenges outside of her control this year, but the United Democratic Party stands competent, prepared, and electrified to lead our country through recovery and into prosperity. Join us on Thursday, October 15 at 7:30 p.m. as we launch your 2020-25 manifesto, Because Your Future Matters. Catch us on Love TV, Wave Radio Wave TV, Channel 7, Norte Visión, Maximum Cable, and on the UDP Belize Facebook page.
The development comes through vision, dedication, and hard work. These qualities possessed by Honorable Elodia Aragon are in full display as he embarked in a project to open new streets in Carmelita Village. This will allow access to new landowners to their own little piece of the jewel. Honorable Elodia Aragon Jr. and the government of Belize, leadership that works.
We have made unprecedented investments in developing the backbone infrastructure of our nation, which has positively impacted every community in this country with new roads, sporting complexes, water and waste management systems, hospitals, schools, electricity, and internet connectivity. These investments have contributed greatly to the movement of people, goods, and services, and has bolstered our economic growth while setting the stage for a new era of Belizean prosperity in the upcoming decade.
Since 2014, Honorable Eludio Aragon has been quietly and consistently assisting deserving residents of Orange Walk East through a pantry program that he put together using personal resources and also with the support of generous business persons. It started with the distribution of 100 packages per month and has now doubled to 200 packages per month. The packages comprise of rice, beans, flour, and sugar, which are staples in any household and a great help to the recipients. During the state of emergency in the month of April, Honorable Aragon also prepared and delivered 3,000 food hampers to residents of Orange Walk East. In the first instance, 1,500 parcels were delivered, followed by 1,500 more 2 weeks later. This was done because Mr. Aragon was aware of the hardships some of the area residents were going through due to the COVID curfew. This is a man who cares. Honorable Eludio Aragon Jr., with you always.
Let's take a look at the PUP DNA. Julius Espat, representative for Cayo South, was sold the Chief Justice residence by a PUP government for a mere pittance and turned around and flipped it for over $1 million. Cousin Luke Espat got a sweetheart pass from the then PUP government when they sold him the country's most valuable asset in the port of Belize, and he allowed Ashcroft to take it over. Now cousin Mike Espat, representative for Toledo East, brought the VOA compound in PG with a DFC loan, which was later written off. He sold it for millions. Corruption is in the PUP DNA. This is the same old PUP.